How I healed my chronic UTIs naturally once and for all. Chronic UTIs, my goodness, they are so annoying. Trust me, I know firsthand. I get very passionate about this topic because there was a time when I had 7 UTIs in 1 year, 2 of which even turned into kidney infections. And for nearly a decade, I was stuck in this awful cycle. And so after struggling for so long and trying literally everything, I am so excited and thankful that as of 2025, I have been UTI free for almost 2 years now. Yay! It honestly feels surreal considering that they've been haunting me for almost a third of my life. But I did it. How did I do it? I've actually put together a whole ebook with everything I learned along the way, every step, every tip, the exact plan I followed. I even listed the exact products and supplements that helped me heal naturally without constantly reaching for antibiotics. And so since I can't possibly cover all of that in this one video, I will focus on the main tips and natural treatments that made a big difference for me. But if you want to have the complete 50-page long guide with all the products and the step-by-step healing protocol, then I'm going to leave a link in the description below so you can check it out later. And if you're new here, hi, my name is Kayo. I'm a certified nutritionist and health coach. And one of the biggest reasons why I became a health coach in the first place was my battle with chronic infections, especially UTIs. After suffering from burnout, my immune system was practically non-existent. But after healing myself, and especially those chronic UTIs, I knew I wanted to help other women do the same. And so here we are today. So my goal is to share all my experience, the endless research I did, and just what worked best for me after a lot of trial and error to save you some time and that you can finally strengthen your bladder and heal it properly without relying heavily on the conventional medications like antibiotics. Because trust me, I know exactly how frustrating, annoying, restricting, sucking out all the spontaneity in your life, and quite frankly, painful chronic UTIs are. So here's what we'll cover: the root causes of chronic UTIs, natural treatments and strategies that actually worked for me, and everything else I did to finally heal. And remember, if you want all the product recommendations and deeper insights, then grab my UTI ebook, link below. So quick recap of my UTI story. The last time I had a serious UTI, I ended up in the emergency room, A&E, ER, whatever other words they are for it. And so the doctor did an ultrasound of my bladder and told me how irritated and seriously inflamed the inner lining of my bladder was. And she explained that all those recurring UTIs and round of antibiotics had really taken a toll because clearly my bladder wasn't even able to fully recover in between infections, which is why even the tiniest amount of bacteria that would enter would instantly trigger another UTI. And so then she went on to explain that in order for me to finally break the cycle and get rid of the chronic UTIs once and for all, I had to heal my bladder from the ground up. And that's when I went all in with my research, literally tried everything under the sun, and finally figured out how to heal for good. And so just a quick note on antibiotics. I'm sure we all know that those are the common go-to treatments for UTIs. But here's the thing, they often don't work as well as we hope. And there's growing concern about antibiotic resistance. A study even found that antibiotic treatment might actually make recurring UTIs worse in the long run. How? So they found that while antibiotics kill the bacteria in your bladder, they don't kill the same type of bacteria in your gut. And so they can hang around there and can reinfect your bladder shortly after. Plus, we also all know by now, hopefully, that antibiotics don't distinguish between good and bad bacteria. They just wipe out everything, even the beneficial ones. And then this creates inflammation and dysbiosis, which is exactly that, an imbalance between the good and bad bacteria, leaving your bladder as a result inflamed and irritated, exactly what happened to me. And so because of that, I'm not a big fan of overusing antibiotics, especially when it comes to UTIs. And I also didn't want to depend on them. And so my goal was to ditch them completely and heal sustainably for the long term. But having said that, obviously I am aware and recognize that sometimes antibiotics are absolutely necessary. And I won't be the one telling you when it's okay to try natural remedies and all that kind of stuff instead of it. So please always check with your healthcare provider first. Okay, how do UTIs happen? In order to understand how to prevent UTIs, we need to understand how they happen. Bacteria from your gut or outside your body can enter the urethra and travel up to your bladder. This often happens either during sex or when you're using the bathroom and not wiping properly. Most UTIs are caused by the bacteria E. coli. So once E. coli bacteria enters your urethra and reaches your bladder, it then sticks to the bladder lining. And so if you take the right precautions and have a strong immune system and a healthy microbiome, your body can usually fight them off no problem. But if even one of these things is compromised, those bacteria can obviously multiply like crazy, causing the infection to spread. And if left untreated, they can even travel up to the kidneys. And over time, bacteria can even form really stubborn biofilms, making them more resistant to both your body and antibiotics, which is another reason why healing it from the ground up works better than just popping antibiotics every single time. And so now that we know how UTIs develop, let's look at the factors that contribute to bacterial imbalances within your urinary tract. Number one, already mentioned it, is sexual activity. So what can we do here to prevent it? We want to pee before and after sex to flush out any bacteria. You always want to clean your anal area with mild unscented soap before sex and rinse your genital area with clean water before and after sex. You also want to rinse off any lube because bacteria can very easily get trapped in it and then just linger. And please do me a favor and skip any harsh hygiene products that just mess with your vaginal pH. Number two is hormonal changes. Fluctuations during your period, pregnancy, or menopause can make it much easier for bacteria to cause infections. So we want to stay hydrated and eat well to support our hormonal health. Then number three is personal hygiene. Let me be clear, recurring UTIs is not always about your hygiene, but it can't hurt to do the following things anyway. Always wipe from front to back. Wear breathable cotton underwear and avoid any kind of tight clothing that just traps moisture, and skip any kind of scented soaps, bubble baths, feminine sprays, and that kind of stuff. Number four is gut health and your diet. Your gut health plays a massive role because if your gut harbors certain types of bacteria that can spread to the bladder, obviously infections can happen. So we want to eat probiotic-rich foods like kefir, sauerkraut, or kimchi. We want to cut back on sugar, refined carbs, and processed foods because all of them feed the harmful bacteria. And you could consider a high-quality probiotic supplement, especially during your healing process. Number five is stress and your immune function. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that chronic stress absolutely tanks our immune system, making you more vulnerable to any kind of infections, but also UTIs. So how can we reduce stress? By practicing stress managing techniques, whether that is meditation, breath work, but I'm going to link a whole video on my top 15 ways of how to regulate your nervous system in the top corner. We also want to get enough sleep, eat a balanced diet with nutritious food, and very important, check for nutrient deficiencies that could be part of why your immune system is so weak. Number six is dehydration. Bacteria can obviously thrive if it's not being flushed out. So we want to make sure that we always have enough fluids to flush out any bacteria from the urinary tract and go to the toilet regularly and not hold your pee. So drink plenty of water, especially if you're active or live somewhere hot, and limit any caffeine or alcohol because they both dehydrate the body but also irritate the bladder. Number seven is antibiotic overuse. I already touched on this, but taking antibiotics too frequently messes with the bacterial balance within your body. Like I said, they do kill the harmful bacteria, but they also kill the beneficial ones. Side effects also include candida overgrowth, digestive issues, and a microbiome disruption, all of which can just fuel more UTIs. So use antibiotics only when really necessary and for the shortest time possible. And whenever you do take antibiotics, you always want to accompany them with probiotics. And lastly, I want to mention something that was an absolute game changer for me, which was pelvic misalignment. This one honestly shocked me, but my Ayurvedic practitioner noticed that my pelvic was extremely misaligned, probably from the very long drives that I did at the time, where I would obviously sit for hours, not really taking any breaks, and only using one foot on the pedal, and then being stuck in that kind of misaligned position also shifted my bladder position, making it impossible to fully get emptied. And because there was always some kind of pee lingering in my bladder and wasn't able to fully empty, it was the perfect environment for bacteria to grow and thrive. So if you're struggling with recurring UTIs, maybe get your pelvis checked by a professional, and it could be a game changer for you just as it was for me. In my ebook, there are 9 other risk factors, but to not completely go overboard, I just mentioned these 8 that were the most significant for me. But if you want to read all about the other ones, then you can also check out my ebook in the description. Now to the fun part, the healing protocol, what actually worked for me. So let's talk about all those natural remedies and lifestyle changes that I made. Number 1, hydration. When I started my healing journey, I always drank enough water. No exceptions. I always stayed on top of my electrolytes, and I always drank 100% pure organic cranberry juice. You don't want the stuff with added sugar and all that, as well as bladder tea, especially during those acute UTIs. Then I made some serious diet changes. I cut way back on sugar, processed foods, and refined carbs. I added lots of probiotic rich foods. I took several supplements to support my healing journey. Some of them were D-mannose, cranberry, and pumpkin seed extract. And I used a very high quality probiotic, but the specific products that I used are in my ebook. Then I supported my system with herbs. So I drank a lot of herbal tea blends specifically for bladder support, which not only helped flushing my bladder, but also soothing it while reducing inflammation. Then I implemented the following hygiene practices religiously. Before about a year and a half, I would shower or use a bidet with clean water before and after sex, every time, without fail. I would use natural, unscented soaps only, but nowhere near the front part, only in the back. I always carried a portable bidet thingy with me whenever I traveled. I always kept my area down there very clean, but only ever just rinsing it with water, and never used any feminine products that would mess with my pH balance. Then I would manage my stress. So I really made sure that stress reduction was a non-negotiable part of my routine, and I strengthened my immune system through several lifestyle changes. Then I would also always prioritize rest and recovery. So I would always give my body proper time to heal during a UTI, always use a hot water bottle to keep it warm, avoid any intense exercise during infections, and kept my kidney area warm and protected. And lastly, I cut out all alcohol and coffee or any other irritants, and worked very closely with my Ayurvedic and homeopathic practitioner. And by doing all those things religiously, repeatedly, consistently for months and months and months, if not years, I managed to heal my UTIs. And I'm now UTI free for just under or over 2 years. I don't know, about 2 years. And I want to be super clear, fixing your UTIs is not going to be a quick fix if you want to do it naturally and sustainably. It takes patience, it takes consistency, and some serious lifestyle changes. But take it from me, it is possible, and you don't have to suffer with recurring UTIs for the rest of your life. You can change that. And so by following all these natural remedies and preventative measures, I not only reduced how often I got UTIs and am now completely UTI free, but also the severity of it and how bad they were. Because the last few that I did have a couple of years ago were literally barely even noticeable. Maybe for a day at a maximum, I had like a mild discomfort, but after that, they completely stopped. There wasn't a burning or severe pain for days and weeks at a time. And that is incredible in itself. So I really hope that my journey and those strategies inspire you to take control of your urinary health. And another bonus for me was that doing all those things for my bladder created positive ripples that affected so many other areas of my life. Obviously, you can imagine that once you practice stress reduction, and once you change your diet up a little bit, and once you boost your immune system and take all that amazing care of your body to function at its optimal level, obviously you're not just going to get rid of whatever chronic infection you have, but also feel so much better overall. But also remember that everyone's obviously different, so listen to your body, adjust these recommendations to suit your own needs, and always check with a healthcare professional before you make any major changes. And if you need personalized support to heal your chronic UTIs, then please feel free to schedule a free clarity call using the link in the description below. I would love to chat about how I can help you break free from chronic UTIs and achieve that UTI freedom, and give you all the one-on-one support that you need need. And don't forget to check out my ebook for a complete step-by-step healing protocol and the exact product recommendations that I used and worked wonders for me. And don't worry, none of these products are sponsored. It's just what I tried with a lot of trial and error over the years, and that worked perfectly for me. And if you're still watching, I would really appreciate it if you could give this video a thumbs up if it helped you in any way, so YouTube can suggest it to other people that may benefit from this. And I would also really appreciate it if you could subscribe to this channel for more free content like this. And other than that, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.